Hello, my name is Evelyn and welcome to my channel. As you could see from the title, this is really just going to be a vlog, day in my life. I'm taking a little mini road trip to Columbus, which is like a little over 2 hours from where I live, because I want to go to this bookstore called the Book Loft. If you know, you know. It's the bookstore that has like 32 rooms of like different books. I saw the video on TikTok and I was like, in the comments, like immediately, where's this from? Where's it from? Columbus? I can do Columbus. Plus I have a friend that lives there, so I can stop by, say hey, and go book shopping. I'm about to head out now. It is currently, I don't know if you can see it, it's July 6th. I'm going on vacation soon, so I need to stack up on books so I know what to read for the ride down, as well as while I'm chilling on vacation and want to be away from people. I have my Kindle that I just got, which I might do a video unboxing that and like decorating it, because I still have to get like a case and I want to get stickers and everything, so I'll probably do a video on that. Just wanted to give a brief little intro to what we're doing. Anyways, I want to go now because I want to have a lot of time there, so we're just gonna go. You guys are literally sitting on my music stand, so I love that for y'all. Sorry. You guys took a little tumble. So it has been 2 days since I went book shopping. I wasn't confident that I was going to be able to film the haul the same day, just because I didn't know how late I was going to get back. It wasn't too late, but I was very tired. I came back, you know, did the night routine, all that jazz, and then I went straight to bed. And then yesterday was Saturday, and I had a lot to do. I had to work, and then I am starting my senior year for my bachelor's degree in social work, so I had to do preparations for my internship. Did you guys need to know that? Absolutely not, because you're here for the books, but I just wanted to share why I'm filming this. It's 2 days later. So here's my beautiful, oh Lord, I almost dropped them all. Here is my stack of books. I got 8 books. I definitely would have bought a lot more had I been by myself or with one of my friends who also loves to read. So it's good for my bank account that I wasn't there as long as I wanted to be. But I think this is I think the most amount of books I've ever bought at once. I am a broke college student, so you know, I'm not rolling in money, but I did spend a hefty sum on books and coffee, which I didn't film because I was out and I met up with a friend. So I was like, you know what? And I'm not good at filming in the public, because that's just really awkward for me. So there's not a lot of clips of me actually at the store. You know, I'm gonna do more of these videos, so eventually I will get better at it and there will be more of me actually looking at the books. But for now, that's not happening. Sorry. But let's get into the books because I'm just rambling at this point. The first book I got is Archer's Voice. I read like the synopsis of all the books, so I'll give like a brief overview because I've also never read any of the books, so I can't tell you about them. But from what I know and what I've heard about, I've already put a little bookmark in because I plan on reading this first. But what I know about what I've heard about this book is it's about a guy who doesn't talk. I don't know if he's like selective mute or like maybe something happened that led him to not be able to speak. But I know that he doesn't, and I know that it's a small town romance, which I love, love, love. But the girl moves there, and then obviously a love story blooms between them. It just seems and sounds like a really cute love story, and I am a sucker for love. So I knew as soon as I heard about the book, I wanted to read it. And every time I went to Barnes and Noble, I could never find it. I was like, why are you out of stock? So I walked in. This was like on one of the first books out on the table outside, instantly on my cart. So I'm very excited to read this book. I've heard lots of great things. A lot of people say they cry. I cry over absolutely everything. So I already know that I'm probably going to end up sobbing with this book, and I'm okay with that. The next book I got is called Harlem Sunsets by Nikisha Afia. I'm probably saying that wrong. I already messed it up a little bit. We're not going to talk about that. But this book also sounded really interesting. It's a murder mystery. This book is set in Harlem, 1927. It's about a girl named Louise. She is a manager alongside her best friend at a club called The Dove. One night, they all just, her friend, and a few other people decided to stay the night and drink, talk, have fun, or whatever. They all go to sleep, and then the next morning when they all wake up, one of their friends is found dead. And none of them have any memory whatsoever of what happened that night. And it's just like them trying to piece together clues to find out what happened while the police is obviously investigating every single person that was there because they were the only ones known to be in that club, and one of them is found dead and none of them know what happened. So it just sounded really interesting. I also love the cover. I think the cover is so pretty. So I'm really excited to read this one. I love a good mystery. So that's this one. The next book I got is Ice Planet Barbarians by Ruby Dixon. I've heard a lot about this book. Heard it's very spicy or whatever. It just sounded very interesting. When I first heard about it on Book Talk, I was like, yeah, probably not gonna read this one. But I read the synopsis and it sounded really interesting and really funny. So I was like, you know what, we're gonna give it a try. Whatever. So this book is about a girl, Georgia, and an alien Vectel. So apparently something happens. Her and other people, I guess, get stuck on this planet or whatever, where they don't have the equipment and the knowledge to survive on said planet. And she like goes out and she runs into this alien Vectel, and apparently they fall in love. That's all I know about this book, but it sounded very interesting and kind of weird. So I was like, I'm gonna read it. So I got it. The next book is called A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham. I thought this sounded so good. And also a booktuber that I watch a lot, Destiny, she has this book. I think she talked about it and she also thought it was really good. And I heard a few other people talk about it. So I was like, sounds interesting. Read the synopsis. Sounded really good. So this book is about a girl named Chloe Davis. When she was 12, 6 teenage girls went missing in her hometown. At the end of the summer, her father actually confessed to having something to do with the disappearance of these teenage girls. So, you know, he's away in prison or whatever, and years go by and she is now a psychologist. She's an adult, living her life. More people, teenage girls, end up going missing, and she discovers there's a lot of parallels between the disappearances that are happening now opposed to the ones that happened 20 years ago, and she is grappling with the facts and stuff and trying to see if there really are parallels or if she's just being paranoid because of something similar that has happened. Once again, I love mysteries and thrillers or whatever, so this sounded really, really good. I'm definitely gonna read this. I want to read this at night because it's giving those night spooky vibes, but I'm really excited to read this. It sounds really, really good, and I've heard lots of good things about it, so I'm a sucker for references. Recommendations, that's the correct word, not references. The next book I got is Honey and Spice. I'm gonna mispronounce this name so bad, I'm so sorry. By Bolu Babalola, I'm guessing. Sounded really good. I am also been doing more research to find more books with Black characters and also about Black love just in general, because I love the books that are popular in Book Talk and whatever, but also it's hard to find like book talkers or booktubers who are Black or people of color and who are recommending more stuff having to do with people of color and Black people as the characters. So when I heard about this book, I was like, I'm gonna give it a try, and it sounded pretty interesting. So this book follows the love story of a girl named Kiki and a guy named Malachi. So from the synopsis, apparently Kiki, she goes to a predominantly white university, I think, and she has like this column or like talk show where she talks about relationships and situationships and like how to avoid those while you're in college. And Malachi is the player of the university, of course, and she is caught kissing him, and to save face with all of the people who tune in and listen to what she talks about, they decide to have a fake relationship to save face for both of their on both of their parts, because they don't want to face like being called like hypocrites or whatever, because she talks about not having situationships and avoiding players and stuff. And if people saw her kissing the biggest player, she doesn't want them to look at her differently or say, why doesn't she practice what she preaches, per se. I wasn't the biggest fan of fake relationships, but I recently read a few books that had fake relationships and they were really good. So it's kind of changed my mind about them a little bit. So the old me would have never picked this book up simply because it was a fake relationship, but we're going to give it a try. I haven't heard that much about this book, but from the few videos I have seen, people said it was really good. So I am excited to check this book out. The next book I got is called The Other Black Girl by Zakiya Harris. Zakiya Delilah Harris. Don't know why I just skipped the middle name. Also probably saying that name wrong again. I literally got this book based on the cover. The afro, like the woman, beautiful, and I really like the pic for the eye. It was like, that is so cute. So I really got this without even reading the synopsis. Saw the cover, I was like, you're coming home with me. And it's only $10. I mean, come on. From the synopsis, this book is, there we go. From the synopsis, this book is about a Black woman who works at a company where she is the only Black woman, and another Black woman gets hired, and she's super excited to finally have someone like her in a all-white company working with her. So they start bonding, and they're sitting right next to each other. So she's making a friend, and then something happens, like rumors start flying around where it makes, what's her name? Hold on. Her name is Nella, right? Yeah. So rumors start flying about Nella or whatever, and it makes the people in the company look at her differently, aren't the biggest fans of her. It says public enemy #1 within the company. And as these are happening, she's starting to get notes telling her to leave the company. She's not wanted there or whatever. And it's really about her trying to find who's spreading these rumors, who's leaving these notes. And she doesn't want to think it's the new girl whose name is Hazel, who just got hired. But all of this stuff started happening as soon as she got hired. So she's trying to find who did this, but a lot of things are pointing to the new girl. But it just sounded really good. It's about, deals with racism in the workplace. all kinds of stuff. It just sounded like a nice little read, so I picked it up. Mostly because of the cover, but I'm glad that it sounds like something that I would actually read, and I didn't just get it because of the cover, but whatever. I like to look at the little spines. I hate hardcover books. I really do. I used to love them when I was younger. And then now that I got back into reading recently, I'm not a fan of them because it's not comfortable. Like, I like paperbacks because I know you guys are probably going to hate this, but like, I like to bend them like this. This is so comfortable to read it like this. So, but hardcovers aren't my thing. They're not my thing. The last two books are two that I'm very excited to read because I've heard lots of good things about them, and they're both from the same author. So this book is Betrayed by Emily Henry. I've heard so many good things about this book, and also another mention of her, Destiny, who's a booktuber. She rated this book 5 stars, and she did a video where she reread her 5 stars to see if they were still 5 stars, and this one aced the test. It was still a 5 stars for her, and I really trust her ratings because she's very strict about her ratings. Like, she doesn't just hand out 5 stars to any book. So the fact that she rated this 5 stars, went back and reread it years later and still gave it a 5 stars, yes. And it sounded so good. So good. For this, both of the characters, Augustus and January, are both writers. January writes romance novels, love stories, while Augustus writes literary fiction. So it's about them. They both have writer's block. Coincidentally, they end up in houses that are right next to each other, so they're neighbors. So both facing a writer's block, they make some sort of deal or bet or whatever that they would switch the types of books they write. So Augustus will be writing the love stories, romance, while January will be writing the literary fiction. So January takes Augustus on like little trips to see cute little areas that he could use for like a little rom-com montage in his books, while Augustus helps January carry out interviews for different things to get her literary fiction book moving along. So it's just a story about them helping each other out of writer's block, exploring different genres of books to write, and falling in love in the process. Sounded really good. Plus, one of my favorite people on YouTube gave it a 5 stars, so I absolutely had to get it. The next book is also, like I said, by Emily Henry, and it is Happy Place. This book, at first, when I first read the synopsis, it didn't catch my attention, but then I was watching another booktuber's video, which I completely forgot her name, so sorry, but she read a quote about the book, and it was just so beautiful that I was like, I'm going to get this book. What I've heard from the books, the friendships in this book is what drew me to it and what made me say I'm going to read it because it sounded so good. But this book, from what I know, is about Harriet and Wynne. They have been the perfect couple since they met in college, right? Yes, since they met in college. But they happened to break up, but they didn't tell their friends. And her friends go to this beach house like every summer, and so since they didn't tell their friends, they thought that they would just pretend to be still the happy couple that their friends know and love, and go on this little trip. So I feel like I feel like they're going to get back together, so I'm guessing that this is a second chance romance, which I haven't read a second chance romance yet, so I'm really excited. I don't think I have. Not yet, so I'm really excited to read this one. But like I said, the main reason I wanted to read it is because of the quotes and like how strong the friendships sound in this book, and just like how cute the idea of having this beach house that you go to every summer with a group of friends. And it's just like, I think that's so adorable, because as adults, you know, we don't see our friends every single day like we did in high school. So we're all busy with work, school, life, significant others, whatever. But to have a place where you go to every summer where you can just catch up, enjoy each other's company, it just sounded so beautiful. So as soon as I heard the few lines, I was like, I feel like I'm going to love this book, so I'm very excited to read this. I am going on vacation next month, and I just feel like this is such a vacation-y type book, so I'm definitely going to save this for next month when I go on vacation, which I'm really sad because I really wanted to like just start reading it as soon as I got home from the bookstore, but I was like, no, I'm going to save it. Well, I'm going to save while I'm there, and I'm going to enjoy it. So, but I'm really excited to read this book. So that was my book haul. I got a lot of books for me. Very excited to start reading them. I said I was going to read Archer's Voice first because I already set up the tabs and everything. But I know there's so many options, and I'm very much a mood reader. So like whenever I start a new book, it's however I'm feeling. So who's to say I'm going to start with Archer's Voice? I want to, especially since the book that I just finished was a lot. It was a lot, just to say the least. I will probably be doing a July wrap-up, so I will talk about the book then, because I don't feel like getting into it right now, because I can't. I need something cute, so I'm probably going to read Archer's Voice. If you have made it to the end of this video, you're a real one. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed filming it and editing it. I have talked so incredibly much, so this is my cue to end this video. Once again, thank you for watching. Please like it. If you have any book recs or any like book type videos you want to see from me, please leave it in the comments. I'm always looking for recommendations for literally everything. But yeah, that's it. That's my cue to sign off. Okay, bye.